Welcome back friends. In this video we'll discuss about the 6NF. Okay. Now before that we should know what is domain constraint and what is the key constraint. A domain is a description of an attribute allowed valued. Okay, it has two parts, physical description and logical description. Now physical description means what? Set of allowed values. It is called set of allowed values. So already you know, say age should be more than 18, okay, or salary should be greater than 0, greater than equal to 0. So these are what the constraint. These are what physical description, or this is called the domain. Similarly, logical description is there, the meaning of the attribute, the meaning of the attribute, okay. So the domain. Now next is key constraint. Already you know the different types of keys are there: primary key, candidate key, super key. A key has a functional dependency constraint. A key exists for a table and key values are unique. So already you know. Next we'll define the DKNF. What is DKNF? Domain key normal form. So 6NF is also called DKNF. That is called domain key normal form. Now a table is in DKNF if enforcing the domain and the key restrictions. So in domain key normal form, domain and key restrictions are enforcing. Okay. If a table is in DKNF, then DBMS can prevent modification anomalies simply by enforcing domain and key constraint. So why should you implement the DKNF? To prevent the database or to reduce the modification anomalies. An attribute values has a meaning, and this meaning is a part of the attributes domain. Okay. Now say this particular table, an attribute value has a meaning and its meaning is a part of the attribute domain. Now the marks 90 means what? It is A plus, 93 is also A plus, 86 means A, 70 is the B plus. So we can say grade is a meaning of this particular marks. Okay, so the grade is dependent on marks, or marks determines the grade. Okay, now the problems we will see one by one. First problem was the redundancy. Now here marks and grade both are the same thing, represent the same thing. Okay, so 90 means A plus, it is obvious. 70 means B plus, it is obvious. So that means what? We are storing the same information in different forms. Okay, so that means redundancy is there. Similarly, if it is more than 90, definitely A plus, so all should be A plus, A plus. So if one more say 91 is there, definitely it should be the A plus. Okay, that means we are storing the same information. Next is update anomaly. Now update anomaly is what? Now suppose it is say 91, by mistake it is 91, say it is say 71. So we have to change here in this position and this position also. So if you change the marks, we have to change the grade also. That is what? Update anomalies. Next, insert and delete anomalies. Say insert and delete anomalies. Now here suppose if a student, now in this particular in this particular class total 5 students are there. Now suppose say if the marks is less than 30, then it is F. But here all the students are good. All the students got more than 40 marks, more than 30 marks. That means what? This particular information is not there. Okay. So if a student got 30 marks or less than 30 marks, or say 20 marks, it is failed. This particular information we cannot insert because roll is the primary key. Now here we cannot put the put blank here, or we cannot put null here because roll number should not be the null. So we cannot put this information that if a marks is less than 30, it is failed. That means we need a separate table. Are you getting? So this is called insert anomalies. We cannot insert this information. Okay, so we cannot store information about this particular grade marks information. That is called insert anomalies. Now suppose roll number, say roll number 7 is there, okay, who got say 20 marks, okay, who got 20 marks, number fails. Now roll number 7 wants to leave this particular college. Now means what, you have to remove this information. Now if you, by removing this one means what, you are removing the information about this grade also. That means we are removing the marks as well as grade. That means what, now we don't have any knowledge about this F grade. We don't have any information about the grade F. Or suppose roll number 3 wants to leave, that means we remove this one. That means right now we don't have any idea about the grade A. What do you mean by the grade A? That is called deletion anomalies. Okay, so the problems are there. That means this table is not in DKNF. Okay, so we have to split the table into two tables. Okay, so we have split this table into two tables, student table and the grade calculation. Say 4 students are there, roll number 90, 93, 86 and 70, and here we put the we separate this particular table into grade calculation table. Here minimum marks and grades are there. If the marks is more than 90, then it is A plus, more than 80 it is A. That means here we preserve the marks and grade information. Now the grade calculation table, this particular table preserve the domain constraint, establishes the domain constraint, and if it is required easily from this particular table we can identify the grades of this particular student, grades of all the students. Okay, and so this is not the repetition, so repetition of the grades are not there, so we have reduced the redundancy. Second is what, insert anomaly. Suppose we want to insert any particular grade, say if it is say more than 20, it should be say D something minus or D minus, then easily you can insert. Similarly, suppose we want to change the grade, okay, or suppose we want to change the roll number. Okay, now suppose now it is 70, it should not be 70, it should be 90. So simultaneously we should not have to change the grade. Okay, so just change only once. So that is the update anomalies. And initial anomalies, suppose roll number 3 wants to leave this particular college, easily we can remove this particular information from this particular table without updating this particular table or without updating grade calculation table. Okay, so that means the table it is in DKNF. Here we preserve the domain of the data. Okay, similarly we can see another example. Now in this particular example, roll number, subject name and credit. Now it is fixed. So if the subject is say theoretical, it is credit is 1. If the subject is laboratory, it is 0.5. So subject S1 is 1, S1 is 1, subject credit of subject 2 is 0.5, subject 2 is 0.5, S3 is 2. So obviously redundancy is there, insert anomaly is there, we cannot insert new subject. If you delete something, we have to remove the subject name and the credit also. And if you change the subject ID, we have to change the credit also. Okay, so the problem is there, so definitely we have to split this into two tables. That means this particular table preserve the domain. So it establishes the domain constraint, and here you reduce the redundancy as well as we have reduced the anomalies, insert, update and delete anomalies. Similarly, you can see customer ID, product ID and price. The price is dependent on the product ID, and here the primary key is the customer ID. So here redundancy is there, product 1 price is 90, product 1 price is 90, and suppose new product is there P4, but no one has purchased this one, so we cannot insert this particular information. So insert anomaly is there. Definitely if you delete this particular information, you are removing the product ID also or the customer ID also, price also. Okay, and if you want to change the price of any product, say instead of 90 it is say 900, so we have to update many places. So the anomalies are there, so we have to split this table into two tables. So customer ID and product ID and the price ID. Now this particular table establishes a domain constraint, and that is the end of this particular video. Thank you very much.